All right, y'all, we're going over Unit 24 in our TUMs book. We're determining the circumference and area of circles. Circumference can be found two ways. Circumference equals 2 times pi times r, or circumference equals pi times d. R is your radius, d is your diameter. Area can be calculated as pi times radius squared. We talked about that last week. Radius squared equals your radius times your radius. We're calculating the circumference of a circle in which the dimensions are positive rational numbers. So these could be fractions or decimals. And then we're calculating the area of a circle in which the dimensions are positive rational numbers as well. All right, this is page 237, by the way. Page 237. All right, we're going to skip 238 and go straight to 239. Make note of your vocabulary at the top of the page. It is important that you are familiar with these words. The instructions for this part of the note say record each description from the table. Label the outside of the circle if the description represents circumference, or on the inside of the circle if the description represents the area. So inside the circle, I'm going to write the word area. No, I'm making a video. You were supposed to be writing. And then I'm going to write circumference around the circle. Okay, so here we're just going to write circumference or area. The outer crust, if it's the outer crust, that's the outside part here, that's circumference. Yes? The pizza sauce on the pizza, that's going to cover it. We put the sauce across or over the pizza, that is area. The rubber part of a bicycle tire is around it, so that's circumference. The eating surface of a dinner plate, whenever they say surface, that has to do with area. The pupil of an eye. Pupil's that little black dot, right? That's area. And I think iris is the circumference. Iris goes around it. Not too certain. That's why I don't teach science. The glass of a circular window. So that's going to be, this part would be glass here. So that would be area. The fence around a circular arena. This would be the fence around a circular arena. So it circumnavigates, so it's a circumference. A basketball hoop rim, also circumference. The hubcap on a tire. Here's a tire. Usually the hubcap has like a little design here. Don't judge my drawing, but this covers the area. My hubcap. And the edge of a coin is a circumference. All right, let's go into the notes on page 240. It says, when determining the circumference of the area of a circle, you can use 3.14 or 22/7 for pi. Keep in mind that if circumference equals pi times diameter, and they give you, okay, keep in mind that if C equals pi times diameter and they give you a circumference, they say circumference in a word problem is, let's say 24 pi. 24 is your diameter. And then they say, oh, find the area now. Well, I'm going to take my diameter, and I'm going to say it's 24. In my area formula, there is no diameter. No diameter. In order to get a diameter from a radius, or a radius from a diameter, I have to divide by 2. 24 divided by 2 is 12. And then I have to square it because that's part of my area formula. Then I'll do 12 times 12, which is 144. Then I would multiply by pi. Okay, this is pi r squared. So circumference is the distance around the outer edge of a circle. C equals 2 times pi times radius, or C equals pi times diameter, as I have demonstrated over here. Here you can use 22 over 7 times 3, because that's the diameter here. So they do 66 over 7, and then they do 9 and 3/7. Divide to rewrite as a mixed number. Or you can top and bottom out and do 66 divided by 7. And you'll get 9.4, about 9.42. Okay. Down here, excuse me, area is the number of square units within a circle. No diameter is used down here. Its area equals pi times radius squared. Replace 3.14 with r and replace pi with 3.14 and r with 1.5. They took this diameter and they cut it in half and said the radius equals 1.5. Quick tip, if the radius equals 15, then your radius squared would equal 225. If your radius equals 1.5, I'm going to need 2 decimal places because it'll be 1.5 times 1.5. And my radius squared would equal 2.25 from here to here. Okay. Then the last part, you multiply. 2.25 times 3.14 would be 7.065. I would round this to about 7.07. Looking at the examples, you should be writing. You better think faster. Nisa wants to replace the glass in her antique mirror. So if it's a glass and a mirror, they're talking about area here. The Looking Glass sells mirrored glass for 85 cents per square inch. So after I find area, I'm going to have to multiply it by the cost. Tax is included. Don't worry about tax. So here they give me the 18 inches, and that's my diameter because it goes all the way across the circle. So my radius would be 18 divided by 2, which is 9. And my radius squared would be 9 times 9, which would be 81. To the nearest penny, how much will Nisa pay to have the glass replaced? Use 3.14 for pi. So I'm going to write my formula. Area equals pi times radius squared, or area equals pi times radius. Pi equals 3.14. Radius squared equals 81. Area equals 3.14 times 81. And then multiply by 85 cents. Hold on, please. Okay, I did the math over here. I did 3.14 times 81, and I got 254 and 34 hundredths, so that's my area. Then I multiplied by 85 cents. That's 254 and 34 hundredths times 85 hundredths, or 85 cents. And then I have 4 decimal places. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's $216 and about 19 cents. Here's my cost. Lily Mae measures the length of the radius of her bedroom clock. The radius equals 2.5 inches. She glues ribbon around the edge, that's going around, and that's the circumference of the clock. What is the length of the ribbon Lily Mae uses to glue around her clock? So C equals 2 times pi times radius, or C equals pi times diameter. If my radius is 2.5, then my diameter is the other 2.5. 2.5 times 2 equals 5. So I'm going to do pi times 5. C equals pi diameter. Pi is 3.14. Diameter is 5. 3.14 times 5 equals 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 times 3 is 15. And 70 hundredths. Make sure you add your 2 decimal places there, and that's going to be inches. All right, let's get into the work. This is page 241. All right, Joaquin draws a circle on a sheet of grid paper. What is the circumference of the circle that Joaquin drew? So we need to find the radius here, or the diameter. Here's my center, and I'm going to cut my circle in half. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units. My diameter equals 8 units. And they want circumference. C equals pi times diameter. So C equals pi times diameter. Pi is 3.14. Diameter equals 8, and I'm going to multiply. 3.14 times 8. Number 2. A new cookie cake company is offering a special deal. Order 1 cookie cake at regular price and get a second cookie cake with a diameter twice the length of the first for the same price. Desmond orders a cookie cake with an 8-inch diameter. What is the area of the second cookie cake Desmond receives? All right, so cake 1, the diameter is 8. Cake 2, my diameter has to be twice that length. Let's say D equals 16. If my diameter up here is 8, then my radius up here is 4. If my diameter down here is 16, then my radius down here is 8. I want the area of the second cookie cake. Area equals, that's my time. Did you write some?
Yes.
Let me see how much. You need more, and you're still skipping 2 lines? Are you still skipping 2 lines? No, you need 1 line skipped, honey. Area equals pi times radius squared. Okay, you need to write more. Pi is 3.14. Radius of my larger cake, that second cake, is 8. Radius squared is 8 times 8, which is 64. So my area will be 3 and 1/1400 times 8 squared. Then we'll calculate that. Okay, a tire from Karen's car is shown. This right here is across the middle of the hubcap. I'm going to draw a line here. This is my diameter, and it's 28 inches. Which is the closest to the distance traveled in feet after 3 full rotations of the tire? Use 22/7 for pi. A rotation is equal to circumference. Okay, so we have circumference equals pi times diameter. Then I'm going to multiply by 3 because I need 3 rotations. So I'm going to do C equals 22/7 times 28 times 3. I'm going to do 28 times 3 real quick. 8 times 3 is 24. Carry the 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 is 84. So this will be 22/7 times 84. Then you will get your answer. For the next one, this says Leo designs a banner for class elections. His banner has 3 congruent circles glued on a rectangular length of butcher paper. The circles touch the edges of the butcher paper and do not overlap. That means these are drawn to side by side, edge to edge. If the butcher